Hey guys, callvapor here, and welcome back to the video. Today, I'm going to be showing you what swords you should use in GPO Battle Royale, and which you shouldn't. The way this video is going to work is I'm going to go over and show you a few swords that you shouldn't use in GPO Battle Royale, and that are commonly thought to be good. And then I'm going to rank the top 12 swords that are actually crazy and that you should use. So all of the swords that aren't listed in this video are not good, and that's why I'm not considering things like Kraken Katanas or things like Golden Staff and Crab Cutlass, because they're just not very good. So let's get right into it. First, I'm going to start off with a couple swords that you might think are good but really aren't. And this first thing, we have 6 swords. So there's as follows: the Soul Cane, Hollow's Fang, Cupid's Battle Axe, Santa Bells, and Candy Cane, and also Flowers. Now, before you think I'm crazy, let me explain myself. So Soul Cane is the only questionable sword on this, since it can be good in some scenarios, but it only has one move, and it's just a dumbed down version of Candy Cane. Then we have the Hollow's Fang. Is very bad, and it has no range, does very little damage, and you can't even combo extend with a damaging move. Also, the Cupid's Battle Axe is bad because of its lack in damage, and although it does have the pole, it doesn't reach the knocked back opponent, so it's basically useless in PvP. Candy Cane is also on this list because although it does have decent range and can do decent damage, it has a very little opportunity to kill your opponent unless they are limping. Yes, it's an okay sword, and you should pick it up if you don't have anything, but definitely isn't one of the best. The Flowers is not good either, as it has very little damage in the same range as Hollow's Fang. It does have a combo extender and can be used in some very specific scenarios, but since the damage is so unbelievably low, it isn't even worth the pickup, to be honest. Lastly, we have Santa's Bells. It's just all around awful. There's nothing to do with them. It's very low on damage, and there's absolutely no range on it. Next, we're going to move on to the swords, the top 12 swords that you're going to want to pick up in the game. And they are ranked in an order in that the best will be on the top of the list and the bottom will be the first ones I read. So in the very last spot of the top 12, we have Mariah's Scissors. It's good overall, but the Pipe is basically a better version of it since it has the exact same moves, but the Pipes is just better. And that's why it's just this low on the list, is because it's just a worse version of Pipe. In the 11th spot, we have G-Blade. G-Blade is crazy for early game, and since it has a stun and a really long slashing animation, it deals a ton of damage if you hold it down. It just lacks a lot of potential later in the game, and there are better opportunities once you get later in the game to pick up different swords. In the 10th spot, we have Vicento. It's here because it does a lot of damage, but sort of lacks in abilities. Pipe is obviously far better and superior, but Vicento is an extremely good weapon that can be used, very useful if used correctly. The spin is also actually crazy. It does a lot of damage, so... In the 9th spot, we have Demon Jester's Scythe. It's very useful, and it has a very useful block breaker. And it has an extremely fast finishing animation. It has the fastest finishing animation in the game. So you can finish people very easily if you use a Jester's Scythe. And you can also infinite combo if you're against a wall. In the 8th spot, we have Neptune's Trident. It's good in a lot of cases because you do have a true combo extender since nobody knows how to block in Battle Royale. So the pull is actually does combo extend. And the Impale is crazy, making it very useful against walls and such. So that's why it's in the 8th spot. In the 7th spot, we have the Knight's Gauntlet. These things are actually still broken, and especially because there is no movement in GPO Battle Royale, it is very easy to hit and launch your opponents. It's very easy to launch onto your opponents, so it's a very easy sword to use. It technically is gauntlets, but I'm considering it a sword. In the 6th spot, we have Festival Lancer. It's in this spot because of its huge damage output, and it also has its own true combo extender, so you're already going to have half their HP down with your sword before they can even move. In the 5th spot, we have Greatsword, a very, very good sword as it does a ton of damage like World Eater, and the Eternal Flow can stun your enemies for a long period of time. Not much else to say here. It's an all-rounder, very good fruit, and the R, it does a lot of damage. In the 4th spot, we have Kiribachi. Kiribachi is absolutely insane at all stages of the game, especially with the new buff it received. The spin does a ton of damage if you use correctly, and the smash is its own makeshift eel hammer. This is one of the top 3 swords in the game right now, so I recommend you pick it up. In the 3rd spot, we have Eel Hammer. Eel Hammer is always a top sword because of the Pounding Festival and the Block Breaker Smash. This is one of the best swords in GPO, and will always be that way because of just the superior R move it has. Does a lot of damage. In the 2nd spot, we have Pipe. Now, Pipe is just unbelievable, and it's just a more broken version of Scissors. This makes it one of the highest damaging weapons in the game and can absolutely smoke your opponents if they manage to get onto a wall. The grab does a ton of damage, and that's why it's up this high. It just is absolutely unbelievable, and it's just a broken weapon. It should be your priority if you do not have the first weapon. In the 1st spot, we have World Eater. If you think Pipe is better than World Eater, you are crazy. World Eater does so much damage, and the range is the farthest in the game. On top of that, you can heal if you use the grab, which makes it a very good sword, and I would say that this is the best sword in the game, and I would use it the most in Battle Royale. So that's honestly all I have for this video. If you think I was wrong in any of these decisions, then make sure to leave a comment and tell me what I got wrong. I'm very interested to see what other people think, and you can also look at the comments if you think I had something wrong. You can maybe look at the comments and see if anybody else you think has it right. So that's all I have for this video. If you enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.